Welcome, Facebook. This is Adam Ashba of Honduras College and president of Ashmont Realty. And today I have a co-host with me, Heather Mann.
Hi.
How are you, Heather?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Good, good. So Heather is one of our new additions to Ashmont Realty. One thing I love about Heather and a lot of her agents is she's a very forward thinker. And today we're going to be talking about something that is, I feel, the future of business. In the way business is going to be ran in many different facets that 99% of most people have no idea what we're going to talk about. But we're going to try to keep it really simple today. But we're going to talk about, and this is an article that Heather sent me, and I really appreciate it, Heather. That's why she's joining.
You're welcome.
But it's about metaverse and NFTs, and we're going to talk about the article because it has to do with virtual real estate. Okay, so there's a New York-based company named Republic Realm that just broke a record for buying the most digital land through Sandbox. Now, I was going to say, I'll show you what Sandbox is. A lot of people have no idea what that is other than when you and I were kids, Heather, playing in the sandboxes, right? But this is totally different. This is virtual. And right now we are going to be on the preface of a new land grab, and it's virtual. And so I'm going to jump on this article that, Heather, you sent me here. So we're going to pull you into there.
Okay.
Oops. There we go. This is on Money Matters. And can you see that okay?
Yep.
Heather? Okay.
Yeah.
So, New York-based company Republic Realm purchased $4.3 million of digital land through Sandbox. Sandbox is, I think the best way to explain it is it's like Roblox. And every parent out there knows what Roblox is. And it's a competitor of theirs, and it feels a lot like it. And I'm going to show everybody what it looks like. And the thing about it, it's like a universe that you can go into and you create, just like Roblox, you build your own homes and build your own reality, right? And and I was going to say, this is here was, but yeah, I mean, basically it's just kind of a competitor that's going in the same genre as Minecraft and Roblox. So what do you know much about have you ever been on Sandbox? Because I have not.
I haven't been on Sandbox, but there's other ones too, like Decentraland. I took a little brief look at. So those two, Decentraland and the Sandbox, those are the two major players right now in the virtual, real estate life.
Is it okay? Because right here it said there was a $2.4 million land purchase in late November, so around Thanksgiving, by Canadian crypto company tokens.com. And I remember hearing about that, but I didn't know that was on Decentraland. I mean, metaverse is a big thing now because of Facebook.
Right.
And I'm a firm believer in that, and that's like our company, we're virtual. We don't have brick and mortar.
Absolutely.
And it's people just don't, people still need people, but they don't need to get in their car and go to the office or go to stores and things like that. So the idea with the metaverse is you are in a kind of a virtual reality, but maybe an augmented reality.
I think it's more like an augmented reality. You have, your avatar, your digital person, and then, they're creating malls, they're creating stores are even putting purses out and being all sold on the metaverse because it's all like your digital reality. Exactly.
Didn't Louis Vuitton
absolutely.
Didn't they do something on Roblox?
Yes, and it sold, and the bag sold for more money virtually than it sold in reality.
That's right. Yeah, you are doing that exactly right. So So I mean, I don't know if everyone knows for sure how it's going to look, but the way that I like my intuition is that you come home from work or school, you go into the virtual reality and you can shop, or you can just live in that reality like Roblox or
Right.
like Fortnite, for example. And if I want to go to the Nike store, I go into the Nike store and there'll be people there, other shoppers. And
Right.
this is where I think because a lot of people will say, well, how do you work there? But there'll be virtual stores and you walk in and there'll be salespeople there, just like
Right.
at the mall. And then their little avatars will be walking around and we talk.
Right.
I mean, that's the way I view, and I think there's no reason why you can't do that. And I don't see any reason why people can't live, which is kind of scary a little bit, but like I see people living in the metaverse more than the reality.
I do too. And I think that they are living a lot in the metaverse right now than what they live in reality. And it's just becoming so popular or, talked about right now because of Facebook changing their name from Facebook
Mhm.
to Meta.
Yeah.
And so I think it's just coming in more of a topic of conversation.
And I think if people don't, a lot of people might not like it, but if you think this isn't coming, you need to come to my house or any home that has a 8 to 15-year-old, because
Absolutely.
this is how it works with my kids. My youngest is 7, and um and he's just getting into roadblocks, right? I don't know if
Right.
that's good or bad, but when they come home, especially my 9-year-old, when she comes home from school, she immediately wants to go on Roblox to play with her friends.
Hmm.
Now, these are her friends in her class, not, these aren't people that her cousins or something that don't live in the same state. Like, so
Hmm.
she rushes home, just like we did as kids. We're going to come home. We're going to go out and play baseball. They
Absolutely.
come home and they immediately go and play. And I don't know what they do. I don't really sit and watch, and I need to maybe, but they just kind of build stuff and run around these towns together.
Right.
And for some reason they enjoy it, and then they talk. And I don't know if you saw this, Heather, but Roblox surpassed the amount of text messages than WhatsApp. Did you see
No, I
anything like
didn't
that?
see that. That's
So
amazing.
yeah, so the WhatsApp is an app for people who don't know, and it's a tech SMS texting
Right.
app that people have on their cell phones or smartphones that they can text people. It's real popular for like people who might live out of the country, and you have like
Right.
those international rates. But Roblox, now mind you, Roblox is anywhere from like a 7 or 8-year-old to a 15-year-old. Would that be the demographic, maybe?
I would say, yeah, around there because I think, all the kids that are around me, that's their age range and that's what they're loving right now. So, yeah, I say probably around there because I think once a little older, they're getting more to other stuff.
I think, yeah, maybe into Fortnite a little later, but
Fortnite,
the
right.
amount of text messages that, or text conversation, that might be the right word, surpassed WhatsApp.
Wow.
And so you're talking just a small segment of people, really, if you think about it. But that's how invested the kids have got into this. So
Absolutely.
yeah. So the what was I going to say? Go back to the converse or the article here. But I don't know. I don't know if there's any highlights or anything that we want to talk about. But there's different website. But really, Roblox and Fortnite. It says here draws tens of millions of viewers daily. Obviously, it is absolutely encapsulated our kids and how they interact with people. So one thing too I want to touch on is NFTs.
Right.
How much do you know about NFTs?
NFTs is
For all the
basically a
viewers.
non-fungible token.
And
So,
mhm.
can you hear me?
I can. Yeah, you're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, NFTs are non-fungible tokens. Basically, it means that it's a one of one, one of one. And that's how the digital property is going to be purchased too. The properties are purchased as NFTs. So that's how they're purchased, NFTs.
Do you feel, Heather, that I know we've talked about digital, but um what about physical, real property, like real estate? I think that if we start like title companies, for example, I
Mhm.
would be really nervous.
See, and it's funny that you bring that up because I had just watched something where they were doing mortgage tokens under NFTs. And now it's a digital service. And I can't really remember off the top of my head what it's called, but they were doing mortgage notes as an NFT.
Really.
So, yep.
And that
And I
makes
think all of this stuff is coming. So we need to definitely get a hold of it. And when you're buying digital property, it's not like buying real property because there's no rules. There's no go and, get, uh, you know, any permission to do anything. There's nothing.
with real property, like real estate, you have
Mhm.
before it goes from buyer to seller. There's title work that needs to be done,
Title work,
and that
right?
title work's expensive. I mean, it's a
Mhm.
couple $1,000 on average, and that's basically the due diligence of a human going back um, and going and just making sure that there's no liens on the property. The person who's selling it really owns it, for example.
Right,
But with blockchain, the ledgers,
right.
it's there's only one.
There's only
And
one.
and when I take this and I said this is mine and it can be verified on a decentral ledger, and I said if you want this, Heather, here you go, and I hand it to you, there's only one. So
Only
there's
one.
no way of like saying, "Oh, it was," but yeah, there was someone else that had ties into it. And
Right,
I think that is something that's very interesting. And I haven't heard. I've heard of people talking about that's a great utilization of it. And think about how much cheaper that is.
right,
To do uh, to transfer, or with cryptocurrency or something, you can purchase $10,000 worth of cryptocurrency for maybe $20-$30. So
right.
because that's how much it costs to do that transaction, basically on the ledger,
Absolutely.
the gas with Ethereum or whatever. But
Mm.
but you could instead of paying $2,000 for title work to be done, maybe you only spend $30 or $40, almost like a processing fee. Like it was $50 to transfer that ownership of that land to me, and it's on the ledger, it's verified, and you don't have to. There's not like human beings that are needed. It's
Right.
fast. Like you can do it
So
in minutes.
fast.
Yeah, so I think it's
Mhm.
interesting. Any other good uh, something along those lines to share with everybody before we get off for Friday?
Yep, I think that it's a really good point to make that we need to pay attention to what our kids are doing
Mhm.
and what our kids are interested in because at the end of the day, that's going to be the future of what we're doing. You see what I'm saying? Like we're trying to sell real estate in real life and the kids are selling real estate online
Yep.
and for millions of dollars
Yep.
and with no regulation.
Yep. Yeah,
So,
it's really wide open. I don't know how you make money. Like I guess if you own the platform, then
right.
that's
So, and then that's
yeah.
where, so say if you bought a plot of land in the Decentraland and you bought it in their fashion district, right? Then you would
Oh,
be able to sell or lease a part of your digital property to JC Penney or to, Goldman Sachs or whoever happens to be, all through around there. They want offices and they want businesses all through the district of which
yeah.
people are going digitally.
I'm gonna let me see here. I'm glad you said that because I want to show you because the one of the questions I said was like I get the virtual because I know what Roblox looks like in the field and Sandbox. I'm not real familiar with Sandbox, but I was watching YouTube videos of it. And the question I was like, if I want to buy land, like what is it? How much does that cost? Or what does that look like? And I found the pricing for it. I want to show everyone this before we get off because this is interesting. Let's see if I can share this up here.
The pricing is definitely interesting.
Yeah, I want to see if I can pull it up. I'm not ready, but maybe. Oh, here it is, Sandbox. I don't know if anyone can see this or not, but I'll rattle it off. This is on Sandbox's website. Oh shoot! I'm not prepared. Heather.
You're doing a great job.
All right. Okay, here we go. I don't know if anyone. Nope, we're still on them. We'll get that off. So okay, but I'm just gonna rattle off. Right here. So there was different rounds. So there's pre-sale rounds, almost like think of it like a development. There was a new development that was being developed in some part of Ohio, and you could buy different lots and develop it. So round one, first round of land pre-sales for this digital land of Sandbox we're talking about and you buy them by the numbers of land. So for example, if you would want to buy 2.5% of the land map. So if anyone's ever watched, like there's a world. So if you own 2.5% of that world, and you can do whatever you want with it. You can build stores or make a big castle and live in it if you wanted to. It was 546 Ethereums, or it was roughly about $100,000. Now, as most people may or may not know in real estate, you always want to buy first, not last. So round 4, which was back in August of 2020, so that's a year ago. So I'm guessing that this company that purchased the $4 million worth was probably buying it off the secondary market to get 3.9% of the total map, which I don't know how much that really would look like or what you could put and how many stores, I guess. It was $252,000. So, for example, we talked about making money before we jumped on. So if you bought 4% of that map for $252,000, someone resold that on the secondary market for, I don't know. I mean, for what, 16x of that? So
yeah, they can make so much money.
Yeah, and that goes back to the NFTs. You own it, and then you resell it, and you're almost like I always call it like baseball cards. You try. It's
exactly like baseball cards.
Yeah,
it's exactly like baseball cards.
Yeah. I think so. People who are older, like us, Heather, maybe more understanding that. So, but all right. Well, if you didn't learn anything from today's conversation, NFTs and all this digital stuff is like baseball cards. So.
Right.
All right.
It's the future. Baseball cards.
Yeah. And you know what? You don't have to like it or love it, but it's coming. It's always, and it'll affect many people's jobs and things. And honestly, I think it's a good thing as well. So
I think it's going to be able to add jobs too, honestly, because some people can't go out and work in a store. But if they can work in the store digitally or virtually, it could add more.
Yeah. You didn't really think of that if they had physical or transportational issues and things like that. So.
Even some people with, disability issues and things of that nature, they might be able to get real jobs and be able to conduct and to be able to generate real dollars virtually.
Yeah, because they'll need people to work within that. As in like a customer support or something. So I don't know. I have a lot of good ideas with Ashmont Realty with that.
I do too.
So, all right. All right. Well, anything else, Heather, before we get off? And I'll let you go on this.
I think that's
Sunny but
about
cold
it.
Friday in
Thank you for
Ohio.
having me on.
You're welcome. Yeah, well, thanks for joining
For sure.
this episode of Ashmont Realty Live, which you can find us exclusively on Facebook and YouTube. And other than that, make sure you like and subscribe. And everyone have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week before Christmas.
Have a good weekend.
All right. Yep. Goodbye, everybody.